It finally happened! A Nintendo Direct got announced for 6 a.m. this Wednesday. Let's go over my predictions for it. And if you missed the official announcement from Nintendo, here it is right on Twitter. A Nintendo Direct Partner Showcase is coming. Watch on demand via YouTube on February 21st at 6 a.m. Pacific time for 25 minutes of info focused on Switch games coming in the first half of 2024 from our publishing and development partners. Now, I want to start this off by saying this because I've seen a lot of people, as I was doom scrolling on Twitter, saying, oh my gosh, I can't believe it's a partner showcase. We barely know what Nintendo is working on this year, but actually we already know quite a bit. Side Order is coming out next week, or I guess it's the end of this week when I'm recording this. Plus, we've got the Paper Mario Thousand Year Door remake coming. Princess Peach Showtime is coming in March. We already know about the Luigi's Mansion 2 port as well. So we actually know of about like 3 or 4 games from Nintendo already. I think it's kind of smart of them to take this opportunity and showcase a lot of third-party games that could be coming to the system. Because actually, I think people forget the last partner showcase from Nintendo was actually pretty good. I think people see the word partner showcase and get scared that it's actually just going to be a bunch of ports or kind of boring game announcements. I don't think that is going to be the case this time around. I'm actually feeling relatively optimistic about this one. And in case you need a little bit of a refresher, keep in mind during the last partner showcase, we got Monster Hunter Rise Sunbreak. Just scrolling through this really quickly, we also got the Nier Automata port over to Switch. We got all of the Mega Man Battle Network Collection stuff. I totally forgot about Super Bomberman R2. We had Blanc. That game actually ended up being really, really good. Mario and Rabbids Sparks of Hope was announced during that. We had Sonic Frontiers updates, Disney Dreamlight Valley, Live Alive, which was like one of my favorite games on Switch in 2022. A bunch of other announcements, Dragon Quest Portal, Harvestella, and then of course, last but not least, the big reveal that the Persona series was coming to Switch. So again, there can be a lot of big third-party announcements in this. Do not expect it to be a small little mini. If it was a mini, they would have called it a mini. This is not classified as a mini. They're counting this as a Nintendo Direct Partner Showcase, not a mini. You can see it right here. There is a clarification. It is not a mini, it is a direct. That should be your sign to get hyped for this one. Now I'm going to kick things off with a pretty obvious prediction. I think this is something that a lot of people absolutely expect to see in this partner showcase coming up on Wednesday. HiFi Rush getting ported to the Switch. Obviously, last week there was that Xbox Business Developer Showcase thing. They said 4 of their games are getting ported to other systems. I actually think that list of games leaked. The 2 that I think are probably going to be coming to Switch are HiFi Rush and Sea of Thieves, but actually I am more excited for HiFi Rush. This game was critically acclaimed. Everybody loved it who played it. It has an amazing soundtrack, and I really do think more people should absolutely get their hands on this game. It is nothing but a good thing to see HiFi Rush, and again, this is my big lock for this partner showcase. If this does not end up happening, I would be absolutely shocked. Now, moving away from the Xbox game ports, the other big thing that's been rumored and going all over Twitter right now is this tweet from Pioro, this well-known leaker within the Nintendo community, who said, is Game Freak a partner a couple days ago? Actually, it was one day ago, and this partner showcase ended up getting announced today, so there might be some validity to this. But Pioro said, yes, Game Freak is a partner, a Japanese video game developer and partner. Now, this got a lot of people talking about what could potentially be coming from Game Freak in this, especially due to the fact that Pokemon Day is coming up. Now, I honestly think there's going to be a Pokemon Presents coming up in the next week or so to highlight whatever the next big Pokemon game is going to be. I don't think that's going to be showcased during this, but I can think of 2 big Game Freak games that may be present during this. One of them is relatively obvious. The other one, I think a lot of people have forgotten about. Let's start with the obvious one. This is Pocket Card Jockey. This is a game that came out 7 years ago on the Nintendo 3DS. It's actually really, really good, and recently it got ported to Apple Arcade. There's like a nice little HD version of it. I know sometimes Game Freak side projects are hit or miss, but honestly, Pocket Card Jockey is really good. And honestly, I feel like people have a lot to look forward to if this game ends up getting ported to Switch. But with that being said, this is what I actually think the big Game Freak announcement is going to be for the Nintendo Direct coming up on Wednesday. Some of you might remember this, but in May of 2023, Private Division, which is the publisher of Kerbal Space Program and Penny's Big Breakaway, they mentioned that they are thrilled to announce they're partnering with Game Freak on an upcoming action-adventure game codenamed Project Bloom. They said they can't reveal too much yet, but here's a piece of concept art, and here is a look at potentially what their idea for this game is. Now, this looks really, really good. I don't know anything about this beyond it being an action-adventure game, but if the game looks anything like this concept art, I am very excited to see what this game is going to be. And actually, fun fact, we may already know what this Project Bloom game is called because Game Freak trademarked the name Pandland in January of this year. Maybe it's a game in which you are exploring a forest and there are a bunch of pandas running around. I have no idea, but Pandland / Project Bloom or whatever that Game Freak Private Division game is, I think is also a lock for this partner showcase. Now, the next thing I want to talk about is something that I think a lot of people have been clamoring for more information on. It's been a long time since the last time we heard anything about this game. And actually, this game comes up all the time. Whenever there's an Indie World announce or Nintendo Direct announce, people want to see more of Hollow Knight's Silksong. And honestly, I feel like the time is right to finally get a solid release date for this game. The last time we saw Silksong was actually during an Xbox Game Pass reveal trailer thing, where they said this game would be coming out within 12 months of that trailer. The 12 months came and went. We didn't get anything with Silksong. They ended up making a statement saying they're still working on it. We still haven't seen anything. I think now is the right opportunity to showcase something. Silksong has been present in previous Nintendo Directs and other presentations. I think the time is right for it. And honestly, I think if we do get anything Silksong related during this partner showcase, I think we are going to get a solid release date, and I really do think the game comes out in 2024. Now let's move on from one potential Game of the Year contender to another one, and this is a game that a lot of people seem to have forgotten even existed, which is wild. I've been seeing a lot of predictions getting thrown around for the partner showcase coming up. Not a lot of people have actually brought up Hades 2, and that's surprising to me because one, this game was already announced during a pre-show at the Game Awards a year or two ago. A lot of people are looking forward to it because obviously the original Hades was a great game, and the original Hades sold incredibly well on Nintendo Switch, and Nintendo did promotions with the game. Nintendo and Supergiant have a very close relationship, and on top of all of that, they just added a Hades spirit to Super Smash Bros. Ultimate. There's a Zagreus spirit battle that you can do. This is a game that comes from a critically acclaimed series, from a critically acclaimed developer that has the potential to be Game of the Year. I think if anything is going to live up to the full Nintendo Direct name of this partner showcase and keep it from being a Nintendo Direct Mini, this is probably one of those games. And I'm dying to see more of it. The little bit of gameplay that we've already seen, I think looks great. And again, I love the original Hades, so I think Hades 2 is going to show up on Wednesday. Another game I am fully expecting to see during this partner showcase coming up on Wednesday is Unicorn Overlord. If you need a reminder of what this game is, this is the new strategy RPG game from Vanillaware. And again, much like the whole Hades connection with Super Smash Bros. Ultimate, they just added a 13 Sentinel spirit to Super Smash Bros. 13 Sentinels is one of the older games of Vanillaware. This is their new project. This was already showcased in a previous Nintendo Direct. The stars are aligning. We'll probably get a final launch trailer for this game because again, this game comes out in like 2 weeks. And finally, in terms of other really big games that I have not seen a lot of people talking about or speculating for this Nintendo Direct, even though this franchise was shown off in a previous partner showcase, is the already announced HD 2D remake of Dragon Quest III. This game is absolutely positively massive in Japan. If there is any game that is going to keep this partner showcase from being classified as a mini and instead be a full-fledged Nintendo Direct, it is Dragon Quest III HD 2D. And in fact, you can take it one step further and maybe they'll end up showing the first trailer for the next mainline Dragon Quest during this as well. We got that little bit of a teaser. We know that game is coming to Switch already. We haven't heard from it in a very long time. I think this is probably more likely. We're probably going to see the HD 2D remake of 3, but a full next mainline announcement could also potentially happen during this partner showcase. Now already, I would already be thrilled with just those announcements alone. I feel like new information on Hades 2, Silksong, the Dragon Quest HD 2D remake, and Game Freak's new IP is big enough to warrant its own partner showcase direct. But I don't think that's all we're going to get during this. I also think we're going to get a couple other goodies sprinkled in. And one of those goodies is an English localization of the game Mamea No Bakeru. This is the new Goemon spiritual successor game from Goodfeel that came out last year. A lot of us were hoping that this game was going to get localized, but honestly, the time kind of came and went. And actually, I was so confident that it wasn't going to come here, I imported the game myself from Japan, played through a lot of it, and thoroughly enjoyed it. So here's hoping more people get the opportunity to play this game and a localization announcement comes on Wednesday. But I actually want to end today's prediction video by talking about something that not a lot of people are really discussing, but I think is crucially important to this conversation surrounding this partner showcase, specifically this full-blown Nintendo Direct partner showcase. And that is that I think there's going to be something related to a first-party franchise developed by a third-party studio that gets revealed during this showcase. May I remind you of that news from November of last year that Bandai Namco just put together two studios, not one, but two studios that are working on Nintendo collaboration projects. Now, I think a lot of people expect that this means that, oh, they're just working on the next Smash Brothers or something, and they very well could be. However, I actually think they're working on something else first. And one of those games is the long-rumored HD port of Kid Icarus Uprising. This is hands down one of the best games on the 3DS. It is criminal that it's still locked to that system and that so many people had issues playing the game originally because of the wonky control scheme. I think if they put this on the Switch, if Bandai Namco, which already has a history of working with Sakurai, who not only developed Smash Brothers, but also was the director for Kid Icarus Uprising, again, the stars are aligning. I feel like if they are working on something that is not Smash Brothers, and we've already been hearing rumors of a Kid Icarus port dating back to when we heard the rumors of the Luigi's Mansion 2 port, which ended up coming true, it seems like this would be a really smart choice for some type of first-party announcement during this partner showcase. Another Nintendo game that seems to be coming up a lot during this partner showcase prediction discussion on social media is Endless Ocean, because Pyoro, who I mentioned earlier, put out a tweet referencing dolphins. And while I would personally be thrilled about a new Endless Ocean game because I loved the original on Wii, I don't necessarily know if this would really be a big first-party thing that could get a lot of people excited. Again, it would get me excited, but I am not the general consumer. But you know what would get the general consumer excited? Fire Emblem. Koei Tecmo has obviously worked on Fire Emblem games in the past. It would not be out of the realm of possibility for them to be working on another one. And again, in terms of long-standing rumors, this rumor about a Fire Emblem Genealogy of the Holy War remake has been going on for a very long time. Historically, there have been remake Fire Emblem games towards the end of the life cycle of other Nintendo systems. We saw this with the DS, with the Shadow Dragon remake. We also saw this with 3DS, with Echoes. I think it could happen again here, and we could get Genealogy at the end of Switch's life cycle. But I want to end things off by going back to that tease from Pyoro about something related to dolphins potentially showing up during this Nintendo Direct. A lot of people latched onto that and thought Endless Ocean. I am thinking something else. The dolphin was the code name for the GameCube back in the day. And one of, again, the long-standing rumors in the Nintendo community, dating back to like 3 or 4 years ago, was GameCube on Nintendo Switch Online. Normally, we get big Nintendo Switch Online updates in September. September last year came and went. We didn't really get anything, but a lot of talk around GameCube on NSO was something that circulated among the community for like 6 months. I think the time is right. I think that would be a really cool way to end this partner showcase. Put GameCube on NSO, maybe even put some other systems on NSO, maybe a third-party system, maybe something like Sega Dreamcast. Throw it on there with some third-party games, and that I think would be a great way to, again, appeal to the hardcore Nintendo fan while also still showcasing some of their third-party partners. But I've droned on enough. This partner showcase is coming out like 48 hours from now. I am supremely excited to see what they are going to announce during this. This could end up being the last proper Nintendo Direct of the Nintendo Switch's life cycle. So please, let's end things off with a bang. If you're not already subscribed to my YouTube channel, make sure you're subscribed so you don't miss my live-streamed live reaction to this partner showcase on Wednesday at 6 a.m. And until next time, I'll talk to you guys later. Bye, everybody!